Hello, it's Wednesday, the 30th of July. I'm going to turn the air off, although it cooled off last night, but it's still really humid. So breaking off that humidity in the room here. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's okay. You know, it's just wild times with the weather and the planet. Tsunami warnings, huge earthquake in Russia, mass shootings and stabbings. It's a lovely world, isn't it? So anyway, I'm here. I'm starting the video over, so I'm kind of recollecting my thoughts. I was on a roll, and now I got to start over again. First off, I'm really grateful that today is a silent day. I don't know when to predict, but my ears my head is quiet. It's not my ears, it's my head. And I'm really thankful. Gonna start the video by just responding or just kind of talking to you folks. Thank you for sharing your love and interest in music with me in the comments. Hello, John McRae. John McRae is someone who I've never met, but he sent me some records over the years. You folks have been amazing to me. But his record collection, which I see online for Prog, is just stunning. It's nice to hear from John. Yeah, people are very kind. Here's people got excited about 4AD, which I share. Although I must share in response to a conversation on here. Pixies were my least favorite 4AD band. I only have a couple singles by Pixies. I've seen them live, so I saw them live, and that's the way for me. Colorbox 2 was also my least favorite. I kept like maybe one or two singles, but I used to have all their records, but what they were doing musically was the least interesting style-wise for me. Wolfgang Press, I do have Wolfgang Press. A couple albums by them. 4AD, for a time, was an absolutely amazing label. And really nice to hear from you. I'll have to find out your first name, Postman. It's great that you... again, see, this is one of those things where it's like we can be presumptuous and make assumptions, thinking that, like, for example, well, the postman and the person at the grocery store, the checkout person, is just like a typical person that listens to the radio. I always love encountering people who know more than the average level of information about music. So I just love seeing the comments from everyone, really. But that's really refreshing about my mailman being a real listener. Some other folks, another person commented about the Roy Harper song, Another Day. Yeah, Roy Harper is the real deal. Here's his album, Flat Baroque and Berserk. Took me a while to find a copy because I knew about Roy Harper for decades. Listened, actually had Roy for a while and went through a change and sold them. I had Life Mask. I have not been able to replace it yet. That one's hard to find. But then it's like I rediscovered his brilliance. So, yeah, what a great song. And also, yes, Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush did the song, a really good version of it, apparently in some kind of TV show. I have it on this bootleg of Peter Gabriel's Book of Memories, and there it is. It opens the album Just Another Day in 1977. This is a pretty good sounding bootleg, actually, and their version of the song is solid. This is actually a pretty decent quality bootleg, as bootlegs go. I'm not a big collector of bootlegs, but I love vibing with people about music. I love it. Cheers. It cooled down this morning. Thank goodness. It's still very humid, but we got a storm coming last night. I didn't get hit, but we lost power again. Weather is more extreme. Of course, hopefully most people realize it. I realize it. And try to stay aware of the weather. Don't take it for granted. Someone else asked me if I have red Crayola. And since I think this album is extraordinary, I'm responding. Yes. I used to have an original. I used to have the box set of international artists, and I sold it. I've told the story where I got beat on the price, and then the seller encountered me later and admitted it and made good to me. He took advantage of me. But this, if you've never heard this album, this is extraordinary. And Mayo Thompson, just like they're from Texas, I believe, but just like 13 Full Elevators, they were way ahead of the curve. This has free-form freakouts between all the songs and starts the album that way. This is back in, what, 67? And then the songs themselves, very imaginative. And then War Sucks. This is a great album. I have the one after it, which is somewhat inscrutable or harder to fathom. God bless the red Crayola and all who sail with it. But I have it. Neat stuff. And this, I think it's a 12-inch single. Or is it two different? Let me look here. Yeah, this is a 12-inch single by Red Crayola. Microchips and Fish. And it's good. It's good. So, a bit of Dear Diary. So yesterday I spent more time outside. One of the cats is pretty soon probably going to let me pet it because I'm pretty sure it's a she. It's a particular one. I recognize her. I'll open up my door and she's sitting on my front step like she's waiting for me. And when I open the door and open the screen and poke my head out to look at her, she doesn't run away. But she hasn't let me pet her yet. But that's interesting how animals are wonderful. They're part of the picture. And for some reason, she likes my yard, sleeps on my car, on my chair in the front yard and the backyard. I think it's sweet. Music that got played yesterday online in one of the music groups, someone had talked about the Uruguayan band Opa. I had played this recently, but they were talking about the album Magic Time. I am most familiar with the album Golden Wings on here, but I also have Magic Time. But the person spoke about Magic Time, saying it could almost be Hatfield and the North, and I thought to myself, well, I'd never heard that in that music. So I put this on and listened to Magic Time last night. I can see what they're saying, although it still sounds very um, um, kind of Brazilian. I don't know what else term to use, but I can see what they mean by the colors. And there is some there is a progressive aspect to it, and the synthesizer settings they use pretty cool. That was enjoyable. I did play some records. I did. It is one of my favorite pastimes is to listen to music. It is. And so I continue to just be floored at how much better everything sounds with the new stylus. So I've always liked the production on this album, Avalon by Roxy Music. Boy, this is a sweet album. It's really a beautiful work of art. The main thing, and Take a Chance with Me, the way that side two starts, super strong, just killer. And the artwork is really, you talk about nailing it. This is like one of those records where it's like just basically all the pieces of the puzzle come together. It's a wonderful album. Another from out in the C to the D section, because these records almost get forgotten about because they're not in here anymore. Hadn't played this forever. Really enjoyed this last night. Life and Times by Billy Cobham. Monster, amazing drummer. My favorite album by him, and when people ask me favorites, sometimes when you ask the favorite, nothing appears. Like, I really can't think of an album that I would call a favorite by Sun Ra. I really can't. But I love Sun Ra. But I know what my favorite Billy Cobham album is, and it's not Spectrum. It's Crosswinds, the album after it. Love that album. This is really good too. Billy Cobham, I relate to how he was writing this music. It's instrumental up to this point. Then he started doing vocals after this. It's music to listen to. It's life music. It's almost like just like a soundtrack for your day. But what you're doing is the band is just kicking butt. So they're playing and their solos and the interaction and the writing. There's lots to pay attention to. There's lots to interact with as a listener. And this is strong. This is really good. Billy Cobham, a good writer, as well as being an amazing drummer. I grabbed some records from the Y section and hadn't listened to this in a long time. This is a reissue. This is one of those rare. People were asking about what's my most expensive. I don't know. I think I probably have something here that's expensive and I don't realize it. Okay. I know that Cosmic Music by John and Alice Coltrane goes for around $500 or $600. I think more in other places, but actually I don't know. I do think it's interesting what records are valued at, and I do pay attention to it when I look things up. So, like for example, originals of this are hard to find and expensive. Yonin Bayashi, a Japanese Prog fusion band, 74. This is cool. It starts off really kind of freak out, and then it gets into these cool grooves that are almost jazzy, but rock. Crazy cover. The cover just does not give you any indication of the music. This is a great, really cool album. Yonen Bayashi. What I was looking for in the Wise was this, because I hadn't played it in a while. And this is one that I bought in New York, and I remember it was at a really famous store in New York that had to close. I watched a documentary about it, but I forget the name of the store. But I could have stayed in that store for the rest of my trip to New York. It was there. The selection was amazing. So I found this Susumu Yokota album there used, and I was always thinking that this was kind of a crackly, noisy album. No, again, it was the fact that I had a dull needle. This is called The Grinning Cat. Grinning Cat. Mr. Yokota is already passed away, although he was younger than me. I love this music, and to me, this is the kind of music that doesn't date. He uses sampling, um, field recordings, very inventive with the synthesizer timbres and settings. Uses beats, but just just good beats. This doesn't sound dated at all. And this is a few years old. Grinning Cat. Had to play this all the way through. Really, really well recorded too. Of course, I've always noticed that. Even before my new stylus, I've always noticed the engineering. I love good engineered, clear records, but not everything is recorded to the same specs. Not everyone hears the same way. So while I was there, this Yes album, which is a fairly recent addition to my collection, got pulled. Very enjoyable, well recorded. Yes, live from House of Blues. This is when the band had this Russian person, Igor Koroshev on keyboards. I think one of the things that I have to say about Yes is John Anderson's voice, which is angelic, and he still has his range. At his age, he still has his range. But when he sings these songs, that's really almost all it takes for it to be Yes. But I love their music, and the live version on here of Awakening is good. I've seen Yes 2 or 3 times. I know 2 times I remember for sure. No, I've seen Yes 3 times, yes. Pulled this because I wanted to check. I've always noticed the sweetness of Japanese vinyl, the sound of all the Japanese records I have. It's like there's this sweetness. That's the only word I can use to the feel of the sound of the vinyl. Really quiet and plush. So Invisible Touch sounds great. I love side 2. I posted this in a group yesterday. Well, several groups, and one person, of course, has a nerve to say, that's not Genesis anymore. Well, you know, on the one hand, when we make music and share it with the world, the music becomes, it is owned by the listener to a degree. But as an artist, I take exception with me as a fan telling the artist what they can do. So a fan saying, that's not the real Genesis, that's that pop Phil Collins stuff. You know, that's an opinion. They're entitled to it. But looking at it from a working artist point of view, that's it's like, damn, you know, could you make a Genesis record? That's what I'll like. That's, you know, that's what I'll be thinking to people who want to be critical. Oh, is that what you think? Can you do it? Of course, the person is entitled to their opinion, of course. Gentle Giant is on my mind since talking to Carrie. So certain songs will come up in my head, and so I'm really not. It's sort of surprising how much I like this album compared to when it first came out, because the song For Nobody off of side 2 just kept popping up in my head. So I had to play it, and it just sounds so good on the Steven Wilson remix. So good. I had to finish up with the Boris, so I pulled out this Boris Heavy Rocks. There's several Heavy Rocks albums. This one has the track Riot Sugar, which I think is just a stomper, but once again, interesting graphics. Once again, if I could record them the way I want to hear them, it would sound much bigger. It's a really heavy, stomping, rocking song. I don't like the way they engineer their stuff. Generally speaking, they don't. But I really like this band, Boris. I don't think of them as metal, though. They're a weird band. When I showed the Anja Ho yesterday, I overlooked the fact that I have most of Exmal Deutschland's records. But I pulled this one because I really like this, because this is when they were starting to go more commercial, but doing it right. Viva. This is a really strong, memorable album. Not quite commercial, but it has a bigger production than their earlier albums. And it's really good. It was the next album that they had a hit off of. I'll Follow You, or something like I'll Be Near You. But this album is just killer. Every song, all the way to the end. Exmal Deutschland. Did I overlook anything else? No. Well, yeah. One more. Because listening it's fun. Yesterday morning I woke up with this song on my mind, so I had to play it. The Sweet Smell of Success by the Stranglers. Of course, this is when Hugh Cornwell was just about to leave the band. Stranglers were never punk. They were always a pop band, with a bit of aggression. But they're an example of pop music that I really like. I like pop music. And I still, every day, check out the blogs to see and watch and listen to new songs. I've heard a couple things recently that I thought, no, that's pretty good, but not enough for me to remember to tell you. So that's what I want to share today. I hope that the situation out there on the coast and with Russia, planet is alive. Hope people are safe. That's all I can say. I'm thankful for many things. I'm thankful for my health, even though it's far from perfect. I'm thankful for my ears today. Wonderful. Oh, it's so nice. It's quiet. I'm thankful for you folks. Over the years, you people have sent me a lot of records. It's just, I'm not expecting it. So it's always just amazing and wonderful. But I'm also thankful for my neighbors, including the crazy ones across the street. And I just know that that's the right place to be inside, is thankful. And I'll say this for my troller. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, that message is for you, okay? Don't think that I forget and all of a sudden you come over here with your trash again, because I know you'll come back, but you have been called out. The only person that's hurting is you. You really want to be my friend, don't you? Take care, people. Talk to me.